Rian and the team, thank you so much for putting this night together. I think it was already said earlier tonight by a number of the people on this stage that initiative like this, bringing like-minded people into one room, is really what's going to change South Africa. So for me, it's an honor and a privilege to share with you the story of Mosaic Community Developments, which started back in 2008 when my wife and I met Sana and her 5 kids. So at the time when we met Sana, she was taking care of 5 orphan and vulnerable children. She lived in a shack, and she didn't have enough resources to take good care of these kids. Little did we know that Sana was not alone in her mission to take care of orphans in the townships. She's actually part of the caretakers that form 90% of South Africa's orphan caretakers. So tonight I want to share with you the story of Oma Nomtandazo, who's one of this mothers and grandmothers who changed my life when I met her. So when I met Nomtandazo also a couple years ago, she was also taking care of 5 orphans and vulnerable children. And she simply did not have the money to send them to good schools. She didn't live in a good house, and she didn't have the necessary life skills to take good care of these kids. So what did we decide to do as an organization? We started a non-profit, my wife and I, to help and to partner with Nomtandazo and the hundreds of thousands of other mothers and grandmothers like her. So the first thing that we do at Mosaic for parents like Nomtandazo is we teach her life skills. And we start the conversation with a very simple question: why do I exist? And what is my calling in life? What is my purpose? What is my mission? We start that conversation with Oma Nomtandazo, and we make sure that she can answer that. The second thing that we do for Oma Nomtandazo is we make sure she has a job. Because if she has a job, she can take care of the 5 children that's living with her. She can put food on the table, she can pay for school uniforms, and she can even pay for taxi fare to take the kids to school. The third thing that we do for Oma Nomtandazo is we partner with her in educating her children. Because we all know, sitting in this room, that education is the way to change South Africa. So we are very serious in this part of our partnership with Nomtandazo. So we have an after-school program where her kids come to after they finish school. They eat lunch, and we help them with their homework, extra English reading classes, extra math classes, and even extracurricular activities. The fourth thing that we do for Oma Nomtandazo is we make sure that she can raise her kids in a decent house. So we build 3-bedroom brick houses for those parents who's involved with Mosaic who don't have decent housing. And for those who maybe have a house but not enough rooms, we maybe add a bedroom, or we do what we can in terms of securing for them good housing. The last thing that we do for Oma Nomtandazo and Sana and all the other mothers is we make sure that they are part of a community with other mothers like themselves, where they can share their struggles but also share their joys and share their ideas and their dreams for their children and for their children's future. So our current situation, currently we are operating in 3 different towns in South Africa. We started off 11 years ago in Potchefstroom. We opened up our 2nd community center here in the Paarl Valley, and more recently we opened up a 3rd community center in Port Elizabeth. So starting up 3 community centers didn't cost nothing. So over the years we've raised some funding, and over the most recent 4 years, we've seen a lot of increase in that funding, helping us towards making sure that these grandmothers can take good care of the children that they are taking care of. So our income is not only generated in South Africa, but actually close to 40% is coming from South Africa. Just more than 40% is coming from the US, and then a little bit is starting to come in from Sweden and Germany. Now, many people ask the question, with a nonprofit, how do you create sustainability within your organization? For us, that's a simple answer. We do that by making sure that no single donor gives us more than 15% of our annual income, and we spread our donor base among 72, actually, after the end of the last financial year, it's close to 100 different donors. So how do we scale this? We believe that as a single organization, we cannot answer the orphan care problem in South Africa. It's huge. There's 5.2 million children in need of care. But we believe that through partnerships and through sharing our model, that we can inspire and hopefully equip other people and organizations to do what we did. We help them by laying out a simple model of establishing a community center within a South African township. At this community center, we encourage them to employ 9 different staff members. Between the 9 different staff members in the community center, they should be able to present 23 different programs that can serve 50 families. Right now, we are serving close to 100 families amongst the 3 different sites, and we are growing. Now, the impact of 50 families is not just the 50 grandmothers and aunts, but it's also its 200 children. The next question for a business person then is, okay, but what's the cost of all of this? And that's a good question, and I want you to ask me that. So once-off capital that we need to put down a community center is 5 million rand, and then monthly we run our community centers at the 90,000 rand cost per community center. Now remember, this equals impacting 50 families, 200 children, and that's just for the first 5 years. Beyond that, we are dreaming about impacting many more lives, because obviously you can imagine having 200 children and 50 families come through the center. Some of them graduate out of the program, and then that same capital investment of 5 million rand can serve a whole new group of beneficiaries all over again. Looking into the future and talking about where we are dreaming of going. So at Mosaic, we have developed different programs. We have developed different systems, monitoring and evaluation system that's a software-based online platform that we are sharing. We are sharing with like-minded people. So if you are sitting in this room and you know someone who's passionate about orphan care, in South Africa, please introduce me to them, because we would love to partner with them. We would love to share what we've learned over the past 10 years, but we also want to learn from them what they have learned in this journey so far. So if what I've said to you tonight and what I've shared with you tonight touched some points of your heart, please make sure that we connect before the end of the evening, and thank you so much for listening to me.
Mosaic Community Development. I was quickly trying to make my sums now while you were speaking. Just quickly tell us the revenue that you're in last year.
So we ended up with donations just over 11 million, and then earned income through different investments just under 1 million, which is a total of about 12 million.
Okay, 12 million for 12 months. Let's say there's 200 kids, 50 families, plus 50, so it's 300. Let's divide that per month. How do you spend 12 million rand on 300 people?
We build a lot of buildings for all the 300 people coming in the future. So right now we are still in what we call the early growth phase with our organization. So we invest heavily in community centers, into the 3 different community centers, a couple million that went into that, building more houses, a couple houses built last year, buying more property to build more houses. So right now we're in that early capital-heavy phase, which I'm sure a lot of business people are familiar with, investing into that. And also then investing into research and development of different systems. For example, our monitoring and evaluation system, a software-based system that's tracking the development of the children throughout the time that they are with us.
So I just quickly want to find out, you presented and said you're teaching the grandmas work skills and life skills.
Yes.
So that they can provide for their families.
Correct.
Okay, do you give the families finances as well?
So we have a strict no handout policy with the families, and with one exception, because what is the rule if it doesn't have an exception, right? So the one exception is with the children. So with the parents, we don't give food towards the families as a whole, but the kids have a lunch that they get at the after-school program. And that after-school program is for free. So the parents don't pay for that. But everything else, the housing, they rent from us, any other programs that they attend, there's some cost involved for them.
Okay, and then last question, what happens to the children if the grandma passes away?
Luckily, we haven't had that. We've had one case where one of the fathers passed away, but luckily the mother is still there to take care of the kids. But one beautiful thing that I've learned in the communities that we work at is that children, or a child, is truly raised by a village. meaning that if a mother passed away, I mean, how did those kids end up with her in the first place? Because maybe her nephew or niece passed away, or her own children passed away, and she was just there, ready to take care of the kids. And we see that all the time.
Will you then step in and support the child if grandma passes away?
We will trust that there's an aunt or another extended family member that will take care of that child. So we as an organization don't take care of the children. We only partner with the caretakers.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Mosaic Community Development, Meyer Conradie. Give him a hand.
Thank you very much.
Be sure to subscribe to the 21 by 21 TV YouTube channel for more videos like these. Thank you for watching.